This is BTV Business Television.
Hello, I'm Taylor Tone.
And I'm Jessica Kajachak. Welcome to BTV Business Television.
This week on BTV, we focus in on some high-grade investment opportunities with the potential to help grow your portfolio.
Including one that was so attractive, it convinced a veteran mining executive to come out of retirement.
Ticks all the boxes for anyone who's wanting a major gold producer.
We track the development of a Tier 1 discovery in the heart of America's copper country.
Our ultimate goal here is to move this into commercial production and grow a solid mid-tier mining company.
We follow one company's hunt for gold in the Sierra Madre of Mexico.
We continue to see the potential to add millions of ounces gold equivalent in high grade.
And we speak to a number of corporate leaders and industry experts to find out what investments they're most excited about.
There are any number of copper mines in the world that make $1 million a day.
What I call the 800-pound gorilla in the room in terms of the silver space is solar demand.
All this and more ahead on BTV Business Television.
Rick Howes was happily retired until an ex-colleague, David Fennell, the executive chairman of Reunion Gold, tried to entice him with a golden opportunity, the chance to get in on the Oko West project that Reunion was developing in the Guyana Shield. Fennell believed in the project from the beginning and wouldn't take no for an answer.
I would say I said no the first maybe 10 or 15 times he called, but eventually he convinced me to take a look, and I flew down to Guyana and went to the property, and certainly everything he spoke about was true about it.
Now Reunion CEO Rick Howes is a true believer.
We've probably got one of the highest quality discoveries in recent years in a good jurisdiction, which again is supportive of mining and allows for some fairly fast permitting timelines. And then that really allows this project to go from discovery to production in the order of 6 years, which is pretty rare. So about 3 years from now, we would expect to be in production.
Don McLean, a senior gold analyst with Paradigm Capital, also sees the immense promise of the Oko Gold project.
You're dealing with a Tier 1 discovery in terms of its size. The grade's twice that we would see in your typical large open pit mine. The existing resource that was published in June at 4.3 million ounces at 1.9 grams was excellent, but it only went down to about 600 meters. We've been plotting it and measuring the resource ourselves ever since it started, and we're sitting at about 5.5 million ounces.
As the Oko West resource grows, so does momentum for the project.
There's a lot of news flow now this year, an early part of the year coming out. One will be the release of the final drill results from the Deep Extension drill program, followed by our resource estimate update, which will include our very first update of the underground resource potential. And then that will be followed by our PEA, which we anticipate to release in May, which will pretty much give us everyone a good idea of what the value proposition is of this particular project.
To Don McLean, the value of Oko West is already undeniable.
It's a very attractive discovery at a time when we don't have that many great discoveries. I think there will be a very interesting M&A chess game take place in 2024, but in the end I suspect it will be a Hollywood issue for investors to pick between competing bids for the company.
The project is one that I would say it ticks all the boxes for anyone who's wanting a major gold producer with a long life ahead. And certainly where the company is trading at today, it's a real opportunity for shareholders to get in at a very cheap price and ride the wave that I think is going to happen.
In February this year, Reunion Gold announced a significant increase in its mineral resource at Oko West, and is on track to release its preliminary economic study in Q2 of this year. To find out more, go to reuniongold.com. Bunker Hill Mining is bringing new thinking to the iconic past-producing Bunker Hill Mine. to satisfy the growing demand for critical and precious metals that are key to the world's low-carbon transition. With multiple low-risk targets, the property has significant exploration upside.
The focus of Bunker Hill is the restart of the Bunker Hill mine in northern Idaho, which will be our cornerstone asset on the way to building a multi-asset North American-focused base and precious metal mining company. It is a brownfield restart of an iconic U.S. mine, had operated over 100 years continuously and produced 165 million ounces of silver in the Silver Valley in northern Idaho. Bunker Hill's main commodity focus is lead, zinc, and silver. 70% of the revenue stream comes from zinc, the remaining equally split between lead and silver. However, we expect that the revenue stream will rebalance over time to its historical norm, where roughly 50% of the revenue will come from silver. There is a significant future at Bunker Hill, and only a third of the claim package encompasses the historic Bunker Hill mine, leaving 2/3 of the claim package largely unexplored.
Stay tuned for some investment opportunities you won't want to miss right here on BTV.
Our ultimate goal here is to move this into commercial production and grow a solid mid-tier mining company out of the heartland of the Arizona Copper Belt.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Copper deposits, when you discover them, are occasionally very big. And big deposits, irrespective of commodity, have treated me well. There are any number of copper mines in the world that make $1 million a day. The consequence of being attracted to big deposits mean I'm attracted to copper, irrespective of my outlook for the commodity.
With few new copper mines coming online and a predicted supply crunch, copper developers are a necessity, and especially within mining-friendly and copper-friendly jurisdictions, like Arizona, also known as the Copper State. Among the developers, one player stands out: Arizona Sonoran Copper Company. As an emerging player with a substantial brownfield property, the company offers a compelling proposition that ticks many essential boxes.
Initially, when I did my analysis on this project, I saw that it had very few obstacles to first production. Given that it was a former producing mine, it came with water rights to the year 2070. It has access to water in the ground in a natural aquifer. There's a main power line that runs right through the property. We have road and rail infrastructure immediately on our southern border. And very importantly, the city of Casa Grande, which is only 5 kilometers to the east, gives us a very strong social license and would like to see the mine come back into production.
While the existing infrastructure provides a huge advantage, it's the property's resource that's most impressive. 5.2 billion pounds of copper in the measured and indicated category, and 2.2 billion inferred. In addition to these promising resource numbers, Arizona Sonoran's new pre-feasibility study declares 3 billion pounds of reserve to calculate a 21-year mine life. Arizona Sonoran's study shows first quartile capital intensity to build a 55,000 tons per annum heap leach, an SXEW operation.
I think the key with the recent PFS is that it brings scale to the opportunity. I think it's well regarded as a very robust project, but now it checks an additional box, which is critical scale that you also need to really get investors interested to drive the market forward.
The company may have their much-awaited oxide-focused pre-feasibility study in hand, but they have no intention of slowing down.
We currently have 3 drills which are operational at the site. Those will continue to drill a property called Mainspring, which is not included in this pre-feasibility study. But our goal would be to bring that into an updated PFS sometime before the end of the year. And of course, we're still drilling metallurgical core, which ultimately will be handed over to Newton.
Newton is part of the mining giant Rio Tinto's copper division that has developed a new copper sulfite leaching technology. Newton is working with the company to test the leachability of the Cactus primary sulfites. If successful, Arizona Sonoran may be able to gain access to pounds that are excluded from the recent pre-feasibility study.
It's a bio-leach operation which really allows us to extract ore from the primary sulfide. It's a part of our ore body that exists today that we just can't extract economically based on the existing technology, but with their technology, we can bring to life that primary sulfide through this bio-leach process and add materially to the life of the asset.
All of this work to date is only the beginning of an ambitious journey forward for the company.
Our ultimate goal here is to move this into commercial production and grow a solid mid-tier mining company out of the heartland of the Arizona Copper Belt.
We've had tremendous success organically growing the company. We're going to continue to focus on that organic growth.
With the pre-feasibility study now released and the next study already underway, this promises to be a transformative year for Arizona Sonoran. The world needs lithium to sustain a growing EV revolution, and Surge Battery Metals is well positioned to supply it through its Nevada North Lithium project. While there's still work to be done, the company is well on its way to developing the highest grade lithium clay resource in the U.S.
Surge Battery Metals, we just announced our maiden resource. This Nevada North project is best in class in terms of lithium clay assets. One of the attractive features of this is not only is it high grade, it's looking very favorable to have a conventional process to help us extract the lithium. Great location, great jurisdiction, great infrastructure. We're just southeast of Elko, which is a mining town. So we have access to, drillers, geologists, the things we need to advance the project. We have a lot of work ahead of us this year. We've got met work coming, we've got more drilling coming, we've got a PEA coming. We'll also be doing all the engineering work to get to a bankable feasibility. EVs are here to stay. The growth rates projected out to 2040 that we will need, I believe, 4 million tons of lithium carbonate. We're at 1 million tons production right now, so there's a big gap that needs to be supplied, and we're hoping to develop this project to be part of the solution.
Coming up, we'll zero in on more exciting investment opportunities right here on BTV.
I notice that the gold trade is climbing the wall of worry as we speak. Gold traditionally does well when faith in fiat-denominated instruments is poor.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Thinking about purchasing gold? With the popularity of gold as an investment, Costco has reported significant earnings in their sales of gold bullion. Longtime investor Rick Rule comments on the current gold market.
I don't know if 2024 will be gold's year or 2025 will be, but I notice that the gold trade is climbing the wall of worry as we speak. And gold traditionally does well when faith in fiat-denominated instruments is poor, and I think that will be a theme. I think, too, that the gold stocks are unnecessarily depressed relative to the price of gold. But I think, irrespective of the past sins, that the current reality means that I'm bullish on gold, and as a consequence, I think that the gold stocks will catch up to a commodity that itself is rising.
The Sierra Madres in Mexico is where you'll find PRYM Mining's flagship property, Los Reyes. Surrounded by titans of the mining industry, CEO Scott Hicks explains how their property still stands out.
The land package at Los Reyes was consolidated by a previous owner, and PRYM Mining is focused on trying to use best-in-class exploration techniques to prove up the immense potential on the property. The 6,000 hectares have not received the quantity of drilling yet that a prolific zone like ours is entitled to.
The Sierra Madres is home to numerous world-class gold projects with plenty of existing infrastructure.
The Sierra Madres themselves have had plenty of exploration and successful mining operations. Los Reyes itself is strongly supported by great infrastructure. There's a strong road network that gets us to Coastla, which is our main base of operations, as well as to the project site itself. Through the project site, running right through the heart of it, is an existing power line. There's also plenty of water, both surface and ground, available to the project for future development. With the number of surface targets as well as potential underground extensions that are available to us, we are really the first operators that have sole focus on developing this property.
With a resurging stock market, PRYM is confident they can stand out with strong resource updates.
PRYM currently has 2.2 million gold equivalent ounces, both between gold and silver. And a lot of our proponents feel that we have 3 to 4 million plus ounces. And we view that as not an aspirational, but a realistic exploration target for our team. There's significant potential for resource expansion. We have a 40,000 meter drill program planned for 2024 to build on the 60,000 meter post-resource drill program we had last year.
Some junior miners can struggle from a lack of experience, but Scott Hicks is confident in the professionals on his team.
PRYM has a very unique blend of very experienced explorationists, mine finders, mine builders, and capital markets professionals. Most of the senior management team has 20, 30, even 40 years of experience across that range of activities. And most of us herald from such senior companies as Newmont, Teck, Kinross, and Iron Gold. So we bring a bit of unique, more senior gold mentality to the junior exploration space.
With an experienced team, a world-class location, and a strong balance sheet, PRYM is ready for what lies ahead.
We continue to see the potential to add millions of ounces gold equivalent in high grade. It's a very exciting time at PRYM, and 2024 is going to be an even more exciting year than last year. With so much drilling behind us and the financial strength to have a lot of drilling ahead of us, where again we think will help to enable the next doubling of our resource as an exploration target.
PRYM Mining believes that sustainability is at the heart of all the success they've achieved and are continuing to work with local communities. You can follow their social work and drill results at prymminingcorp.ca. Continuing on our mining investment theme, Copper Fox, an exploration and development company, is focused on large copper projects in North America, all to provide critical metals that support an evolution to a lower carbon environment. With 2 advanced and 3 exploration stage projects on the go, the company is drawing a lot of attention.
Copper is a part of our life, whether we know it or not. Copper Fox Metals, focused in copper in North America. We have 3 resource properties, a very large metal balance, plus copper, gold, moly, and silver. We have the Van Dyke project in Arizona, which is an ISCR project. Good economics, done at a considerable price. We're moving that through the pre-feasibility stage, and right now we're just finishing up some geotech work, did some mineralogical work, and so we'll be looking to move into phase 2, hopefully maybe mid-year. But the second one is the joint venture we have with Teck Resources at Shaft Creek. And the joint venture just announced an $18.7 million program for 2024 to get more certainty and hopefully surface additional value at Shaft Creek. I still have that burning desire to get in the field and find copper, because when you find copper, then you're adding value to your company. And I really still enjoy it very much.
Don't go away. More investment and expert insights when we return, right here on BTV.
You can't do crypto, you can't do artificial intelligence without energy, and you can't do energy without copper.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
As we speak, the price of gold has just hit an all-time high. Gold, silver, naturally, everybody loves gold and silver. Copper is critical to the future, but the other base metals, lead, zinc, things like iron ore, the world needs these things. I mean, I know there's a big focus in the markets on, crypto and technology and what have you, but you can't do crypto, you can't do artificial intelligence without energy, and you can't do energy without copper, without, critical elements in the rare earth space, things like battery metals.
Mining Ventures has its eye on Brazil, where it's developing its flagship gold project, expected to be the country's 3rd largest gold mine when completed. With commercial production just months away, G Mining has a compelling story to tell.
G Mining Ventures is a precious metal focused company, and we're currently building the Tocantins project in Brazil. So we made tremendous progress this past year, advancing the construction to achieve 76% completion at the end of the year. We feel that Brazil is a very attractive jurisdiction from a political point of view, from a mineral resource potential point of view. So the mineral endowment of Brazil is tremendous. Copper, nickel. We have a wealth of network of suppliers, competent people. For us, it's really a top jurisdiction in South America. In the past year, really developed 19 additional targets to explore this year. So we're allocating a $4 million budget to investigate some of these targets. We're on that path of re-rating the company as we get into commercial production, which we're forecasting in the second half of this year.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Canadian Securities Exchange, an organization dedicated to helping early-stage companies access public markets. Recently, the CSE underwent a significant rebranding that also serves to underscore its commitment to finding new and better ways to bring value to issuers.
The first 10 years was a story of slow but steady growth, and we were finding an increasing audience with the Canadian investment community. The staff complement has grown tremendously, but fundamentally, the sense of the organization is exactly the same as when it started. We're servicing a much larger issuer community than ever before. The Canadian Securities Exchange led all Canadian exchanges last year with 18 IPOs that came to market. We continue to see a number of companies, particularly from the mining space, that are coming into the market. We have a strong track record of working with companies that are based in the United States, but are really too small to join one of the national markets in the US, or have elected not to accept private equity or venture capital type financing. It is all about, at this point, helping the companies engage with pools of capital wherever that may be, Canada, the United States, or overseas.
And finally today, this analyst shares his thoughts on silver.
What I call the 800-pound gorilla in the room in terms of the silver space is solar demand, and that's been growing tremendously. Maybe 4 years ago, it represented 100 million ounces a year out of a billion-ounce market. Last year, it was already 190 million ounces, so it's nearly doubled. Forecast is that in 2024, we're going to be above 200 million ounces, so it'll have clearly doubled. And that represents about 20% now. So 20% of all the silver supply goes to solar alone every year. It's just tremendous, and it cannot be ignored.
Whether it's gold, copper, lithium, or critical metals, the resource industry offers a number of excellent investment opportunities.
Opportunities that will continue to follow as they develop.
Thanks for joining us today. For BTV, I'm Jessica Katrachak.
And I'm Taylor Tone. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Business Television for the latest interviews on companies in the markets. And until next time, may your portfolio prosper.